Well, g'day, and welcome back again here to YunFu. We're still here. Um, so today we're just walking past the Wens food group. I thought we'd make a little video as we wander through here. Want to go and have a look. We did a video last time we were here on the housing area, and but it was at night time, so we couldn't really see much. Wow, that's a nice Ferrari in there by the look of it. So they're all back at work today. They've just gone back after Spring Festival. There's sort of there's a building being put up behind where we're staying. Let's just try and straighten this camera a little bit. That might be a little bit too much. Okay, something like that. Yeah, so there's building going on behind the place where we're staying. It's been really quiet the whole time I've been here, but wake up this morning with hammers going and everything banging around the place. So yeah, everybody's going back to work today. So the Wens Food Group, as we said, if you go back, they put on a big drone and fireworks display a while back for their 40th anniversary, and they're all back to work today, and we thought we'd go and have a look. So as I said, we did a video in the housing area, but it was night time, couldn't really see very much. I don't know how much we're going to see today, but because we can't actually get into the grounds. The lady that got us in last time, she's still on vacation, so we might try and, she's back I think tomorrow. We might try and get in, but I don't know if we're going to have time. We've only got a couple more days here. We've got a couple other things happening that we're going to go and film, so yeah, we don't know if we'll get there or not. So here we have the entrance to the place. And I was actually watching so here we have guard shack out the front with police and everything. It's a huge big complex. So one thing, I was watching a video on another channel. I've sort of found this guy, his channel's called Jerry's Take on China, which if you haven't seen his videos, if you want to learn more about China, he's a really good channel to go and learn stuff. He gives really good information, does a great job. And I've been going back and watching a lot of his older videos. I sort of only found him a couple of months ago. And yeah, I've been going through his back catalogue, having a look at stuff he's got to say. And one I watched this morning was talking about people not understanding China. And one thing is, which is where a lot of this stuff with the Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang, you know, everybody talks about these factories having you know, dormitories and stuff, and they call that prison cells because they've all got bars on their windows. Well, most apartments have bars on their windows here to stop crime. It's very commonplace. And also guards out the front. You get that in everywhere you go. Apartment complexes will have guards out on the front, guarding their area, guarding their little complex. Schools, kindergartens, shopping centres have guards out the front regularly. So it's not an uncommon thing, it's just every day here. And yet people who have never been here take that, look at that and go, oh look, it's a prison cell, it's authoritarian, rah rah rah. No, it's security. And it works well. It means that everything's secure. In the whole time I've been here, I've never heard of anybody being burgled whatsoever. So yeah, so you can see the gates up here. They have not armed, they have guards up at the front gate there. So yeah, it's very common. So if you want to learn more, go and check out Jerry's Take on China. He does a great job. So over on our left, this is sort of, I think, all the administration area of the Wens Food Group. They have some animal statues down here. This is the entrance to the residential area, which we can't get in at the moment. Like I say, we might try and get in. Go back and watch my old video. It does give you a bit of an idea. It was just a bit dark to really see. Up here, they have a function area. So if they're having, you know, some sort of awards night or whatever they do, they will have all that. And then around here is all the accommodation, which we're just sort of going to walk around the outside of the area and have a little look. So yeah, a lot of companies here in China will provide accommodation. Quite often it's only dormitories. You know, if they've got a large migrant worker sort of thing, it's dormitories. A big company like this, who support a lot of local people, these guys will actually have proper apartments and stuff built up, which they have in abundance. This is a huge complex. So they also have this company produces foodstuffs, all sorts of stuff. They have a food research center over the back near the library and museum. So if we go right back over here, for probably a couple of kilometers, they've got a food research center. I've seen at least 4 factory areas around here in the last 2 weeks where they're actually producing product and stuff. Just down the front here, they have a section of shops. There's a bank in there. There's a telephone company office in there. All sorts of stuff, you know, little shops to keep their, you know, if you're at home and you just need I don't know, bottle of milk, you've got somewhere you can go and pick that stuff up very, very close by. And then out the front here, I think all of these buildings here were also built by the same company. I don't know if they own the buildings or if they've sold them to various shop holders and whatnot. But yeah, it's all owned by the same, all built by the same people. So it's a big, big company. So the reason they're here in, you know, a small part of a small area of Guangdong, here in Sing Sing, YunFu, is because the guy who started the company comes from here, and he wants to support his local community. So that's what he does, which is really good of him. You know, I'm sure he has the money and resources. He could go somewhere else, go and, you know, operate out of Shenzhen or Guangzhou or one of the big places, but sticks here to look after the local community, which, yeah, I admire. Looks after the local people and stuff. So as we get up to the end of the road up here, which, God, it's further than I remember. It's a huge complex. We're going to turn around to the left and we're going to go and have a look at some of the apartment buildings from the other side. It's a nice day today actually. The weather's good, it's not too hot, it's not cold at all. We're out in shorts, but yeah, I wouldn't call it hot, it's just right. Bit of cloud around, we might get a bit of rain later on maybe, but we'll see. So behind these shops basically is the housing area for the group. So just behind where we are now is actually sort of condos, sort of standalone houses. A lot of them were sort of 3 stories. So as I've mentioned before, the houses here, if you're buying houses like that, they are built tall. They don't take up a lot of ground space because space is very limited here. So it's a very, very small footprint on the ground, but they go up tall. So yeah, they've got, I don't even know how many, there must be a couple of 100 condos in here, which would be for your management types, upper echelon sort of people, and And then you have the apartments, which there's just thousands of the bloody things. I tried to count the apartments on one of the buildings and then sort of times that by how many buildings there are, but I lost count. It was huge. It's yeah, the roads are actually looking a bit busier today. A lot of shops that have been closed over the last week and a half are now open again. A lot of people heading back home from wherever they've been away. So I imagine, so today's, what are we, Sunday? Get confused, being on holiday, I lose track of what day we're actually up to. Yeah, Sunday today, so it's probably a lot of people heading home from YunFu, heading back to wherever they work in, your Guangzhous and your Shenzhens and the like. And yeah, getting ready to start the new year back at work. Now, so basically that whole area that we've just walked is all sort of run by this food group. Just wondering, should we cross the road? We might get a better look from over the road at what's going on here. We will cross the road. A couple of cars coming for us to wait for. So that whole area that we've just walked, as we look back over this building, so from these buildings, right the way back, there's probably, oh God, I don't even remember. There must have been 15 little roads coming down, and there would have been 8, 10, maybe 12 condos all spaced along each of the roads. So there's heaps of them, and then there's more of them. There's a hill up in the middle of this area, which must be the upper management live in there. And then all of these apartment buildings that you can see over the top of the hill here, over the top of the roofs here. These ones further around to the right. And then they go right the way around to, you can just see popping up over the trees there, another building which we'll get around to. This is all the one company. So as I say, I think I'm pretty sure they were involved in building all of these shops in front here as well. And then here's another entrance to the apartment area, which you can see again, there's another guard check and stuff on there. So only authorized cars are allowed in. If you want to go and visit somebody, you'd have to let the person you're coming to visit know. They'll ring up the gate and give them your number plate. So we can see apartment buildings in there, right the way through, huge bike areas. There's heaps of play area if you've got kids and stuff. So Emily's friend Mia, who lives in Jiaqing, not far from me, her dad actually used to work for this company. He's made his money and he's moved on. He's doing something else now in Jiaqing. But they've actually bought the apartment they used to live in. So even though they no longer work for the company, they own their own apartment in this complex. I'm not sure where or which building they're in. So they don't have to actually work here to be able to come here. So they can still come back when they're coming back to visit, because Mia's parents both come from Sing Sing. So that basketball game we went to in a small village, that's actually Mia's dad's home village. So yeah, they've still got that connection here. And they've got a place. So anybody who works for the company can buy one of these apartments. And we can just see, they just go on and on and on. There's so many. So these ones here, I think are the older apartments. Oh, excuse me. Throat's getting a bit dry. It's been very dry here. And then these over here are newer. And then down the back, there's a newer lot of apartment buildings being built as well, or being built. So yeah, as I say, they've got, aside from this area, they've got at least 4 production facilities around Sing Sing. So we have another entrance here to the complex. Again, security guards out the front and stuff. So it's very normal here. So when you hear people talking about places and how places must be a prison because it's security guards out the front and stuff, it's simply not true. That's just the way life is. Wow, these apartments in front of us here must be for the higher level. They have huge big balconies out the front there, which still astounds me. Nobody uses the balconies in China apart from for hanging their washing up. Nobody goes and sits out on the balcony, which I laugh about. It's quite funny. So we can see up there we've got big roads. So up in that, if we follow that road straight up, that's where the upper management all live, up behind them trees. They've got really, really nice looking condos up in there, very expensive. And yeah, as we carry on around the corner here, we'll keep going and see what more we can see. Actually, the other thing I was going to mention, if you do want to learn more about life in China, I mentioned Jerry's take on China. Thought I might just plug a couple of other channels that I watch fairly religiously, and I'll try and remember to put in links to these guys on the video when I do get around to getting this video online. But a couple of others would be actually, so yeah, Jerry, just to start off with. Jerry was a British police officer. He ended up moving, lived in Australia for I don't know how long, but he spent a number of years in Australia. Been in China for 20 years now. Then you've got Reports on China, which is what's the guy's name? Borum. He's a Kiwi, New Zealander. He does really good stuff, sort of looking at so Jerry looks more at the sort of life here, gets into a bit of the politics. Reports on China is more, he tends to look at media reporting and stuff, and how the media reports on China and comparing. I think he works for CGTN or one of the Chinese media companies in Shanghai, but he does a really good job, backs up all his information and stuff. Who else do we watch? The Barretts, B-A-R-R-E-T-T, I think. He does a lot of cool stuff, a lot of lifestyle stuff. He's a bit like me, I think. He's still fairly new to YouTube. He, I don't know. I wouldn't call him as professional as some others, but that's part of the charm. I mean, I've sort of had people say, oh, you should do more editing and make your videos shorter and stuff and have a script and thing. I'm not really interested. I like to just wander and talk about stuff, and whatever happens, happens. So yeah, he does a good job. I like watching him. He might not be everybody's taste, it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I like him. Who else do we have? There's another channel, Living in China. Don't know much about the guy that makes that channel, but he sort of has a laugh and stuff. He's quite entertaining, quite enjoy that. And there's one other that I'm trying to remember. The guy's name is a South African. And I can't remember the guy's name, but I'll link his channel down the bottom as well. And yeah, check him out. He does some really good. He does a lot of live streaming and stuff from China. He's traveling at the moment. So these here are newer apartment buildings built again by the same company. Here we have some of the condos. You can sort of just see through here. So single family homes, standalone places in the middle there. And then we carry on. It doesn't end here. So yeah, there's a few, and there's other channels. I think there's Blondie in China. I don't see a lot of her. There's a couple of channels I watch from Chinese people who are traveling around China. They're really interesting. I've got a huge bucket list of places I want to go, way bigger than I'll ever be able to manage. Over on the right here, I think, and I could be wrong here, I may be mistaken, but I think these are also built by the same company. So it's just astounding. So this is something that companies here in China do, is they look after their workers. So like I say, if it's a smaller company, they'll have dormitory buildings if they've got migrant workforce or something. So, you know, a father will come, live, especially places like Shenzhen, Guangzhou, where people want to go. They'll go and live in those areas and go back home to the family during Spring Festival or Mid-Autumn Festival, so whenever there's a week off. Mid-Autumn, am I thinking the right one? Or National Day holiday, I think it's 5 days. So yeah, they don't get home terribly often, which is a bit sad for their families, I would imagine, but it brings in the money. And then when you get big companies like this, they have apartments. So my school, the apartment where I live is in a complex of, I think there's 5 or 6 apartment buildings which were built by my school. So the apartment I'm in is owned by my school, whereas some of the apartments have been bought by ex-teachers and stuff in the school. So a lot of the kids that knock around in the playground, their parents might have bought the apartment and now the children live in the apartment. So, and the parents have moved on to somewhere bigger and brighter maybe. But they've passed the apartment on to their children when their children leave home, and now they've got children of their own. So although the apartments are all sort of linked to the school, they're not necessarily all lived in by people who are linked to the school directly. So we see just the number of bloody apartments here is just, it's absolutely mind-boggling. It's just nothing like this in Australia. I couldn't name a single company that would provide accommodation like this. Some companies, if you're going to work in the mines, will provide you with a room. I don't even know if you get your own room. It's probably, I don't know, maybe. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, it's very temporary accommodation, dongas and stuff, which are just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Demountable sort of buildings. They're not permanent in any way. So we have a heap more building going on here on our right. Look like shops, probably got apartments up above. It's a bit hard, I can't see very well from being so close. They'll probably be very similar to what we have here, where you have shops at the bottom, apartments above. I don't know if this is all built by the same group or not, but we're just getting around to the back of this area here now, and we're going to chuck a left. I'm going to try and get over the road here when we've got a break in the traffic, which looks about now. Okay, so we're across this road. So yeah, if you have to travel for work in Australia and go and work places, a company will often give you a living allowance or something, but you have to go and find your own accommodation. Here, if you're working for a big company, they give you a place to live. They take care of you, which I love. It's really good. It is makes a company feel, if you're working for that company, it's not just a place of work. It becomes more of a family type feel, which I can appreciate. Oh, up the steps. So here's the back of their complex here. So these here, I believe, are the newest apartment buildings they've built. Down the back of here, we have a big market area. There's more shops on our right, so the main road is actually out the other side of these shops. Just thought we'd duck down this alleyway. So we can see all underground parking there. So all this under here is underground parking. They've got 2 floors, in some places 3 floors of underground parking under these apartment buildings. And then, so down here, they will have a heap of little, small sort of convenience stores, buy buckets and brooms and mops, bits and pieces of food and stuff. And then inside here is the big market area. So you come down here, get your fruits, your vegetables, meats, all that sort of stuff, everything you need. It's a big market actually. This place would be rather busy, I imagine, when it really gets going. And then down the front, in front of us, we have a lot of ground which has been prepared, and somebody did say that they're building more things for this food company, so it's all go. It's it's a huge company. So over the right here, these buildings over here that we can see, this is the experimental food division, which is one of the other areas. And then over behind there, so that, if you can just see the clock tower in there, that's Joanna's school. And then, this is all prepared for more building. We've got more building going on over here. So it's a huge company. And they keep themselves stuck in this small town. Stuck is probably the wrong word. They're not stuck here, but they support the community of the guy who built the company. So it's really good of them. I mean, like I say, we will in the next couple of days try and get back inside the living area, because I do want to go and have a look around. I was hoping to be able to tee up with young Mia's dad for him to contact somebody to get inside the company and actually have a bit of a look at what they do. But everybody's been on Spring Festival. Mia and her family have been away in Sanya on Hainan Island. They only got back a couple of days ago. So we haven't been able to sort of link up, and with the food company mainly being closed because of Spring Festival, just not a good time. So maybe next time we come over here to YunFu, we'll try and tee that up, because I'd be very interested in going and have a look in there. We are going to go and have a look in a couple of other food producing places in Zhaoqing when we get back. The couple of places in Dinghu. We did a video, they were doing a live broadcast, and we did a video on that, if you go back and find that one. And yeah, both of the companies that were doing this live broadcast, selling product online, are based out at Dinghu, not far from our school out there. So, and they've both said, yeah, it's fine, come and make a video, we'd love to have you. So that's a plan for the future. Once we get back into school and stuff, and we're traveling back out to Dinghu, I'll organize that with these guys and take you for a wander through there. Did I have anything else I wanted to mention before we go on? Or just in here, we have seen these before. These are charging places for your electric cars. So you can see the green number plates on the cars, as always, symbolizes electric cars. And then these charging spots are now everywhere. And then behind here, car wash, automatic car wash, very nice. So yeah, the electric cars, well, I didn't really get a good position to make a video while we're in Shenzhen. I did want to sit down on a street somewhere for 20 minutes and just talk about the electric cars, which we might do in Jiaqing, and talk about some of the brands and some of the innovations and stuff that are going on. But I did want to, while we were doing that, I wanted to sit down in Shenzhen and just sort of compare the numbers of electric cars compared to internal combustion engine cars, because the numbers just floored me. I was absolutely astounded. I mean, the take up of electric cars in Jiaqing is pretty huge to start with, but Shenzhen absolutely blew me away. The number of electric cars on the road, just astounding. So yeah, we will do that. I'm trying to work out how to get footage and images from online to put into videos, because I'm not going to be able to travel and get video of all the stuff I want to talk of, and it'd be nice to have some images. So I'm trying, I'm still learning all this video creating stuff, so I'm getting there slowly. So yeah, that's something else to look forward to. Another electric car over here. They are very, very common. You see a lot of them around the place. Very, very popular brand of electric car here. What else did we want to mention before we sign off here today? Not much. Yeah, go and check out them other channels that we talked about. And we might even do a video actually going through a lot of the channels. Oh, that's the other guy I was going to mention. King Quasi, I think it is. It's King, and then the surname's KWASI, ESI? I can't remember. Another one I'll have to try and link down below for you. He's from, where was he from? Ghana, I think. And his interviews, he actually goes around and interviews people. He meets other foreigners living in China and talks to them about their experiences in China. And here's another one I sort of discovered fairly recently, and he does a great job. I love his interviews. I love some of the different information and different perspectives you get from different people coming to China from different places. So yeah, he's really good, and that's a real, it's a real eye opener to listen to him and listen to the people that he talks to. And that's the best way to learn. Watching the media and stuff, well, you're just going to get absolute bullshit. Politicians in the West, it's absolute bullshit. But yeah, go and listen to people who actually live here. I know there's people out there who will simply accuse these people of being paid shills and stuff. Oh, you're paid by the communist government. Well, I'm not paid by the communist government. Wish I was. They're welcome to pay me if they like. And even if they did, I wouldn't lie about what life's like here. I tell it pretty much as I see it. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed that. like I say, we will try and get inside this company still, maybe on our next trip, and actually get some decent footage from inside. Just hasn't been the right time with Spring Festival this year. So yeah, if you have enjoyed that and enjoyed listening to me to waffle on about various topics, hit that like button, subscribe to see more in the future. If you have any questions, comments, hit us up down below. If you have any ideas for videos, anything you would like to see here, let us know and we'll endeavor to bring it to you. Yeah, if you have a good idea for a video, I'll go away and make it. So yeah, stay safe everybody. I hope you have enjoyed that. Stay safe, happy Chinese New Year and all that stuff, although by the time I get this online, it'll be well past New Year. There's a couple of bikes and cars coming down the road. We're going to duck in front of this one. Yeah, stay safe, look after each other, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.